Hey everyone, welcome to my little studio, attic, whatever you want to call it. I just wanted to give you a little glimpse because slowly it's getting finally done and I have some Legos here and there, but I wanted to show off my El Dorado fortress that I finally found a good location for, and this little ship is also coming in, not quite sea level, but hey, it is fun. And with that we can get started with the drawing. So this is just a draw along with me, have some fun. If you're not into that, yeah, please feel free to go do something more more useful for yourself. But yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm still struggling a little bit with finding proper time to do one of these, but it is weekend and I have a couple of hours, so I thought, you know what, I will definitely not have time to do something that I have to that I have to edit and do some voiceover or whatnot. So I thought might as well do something fun, maybe that you can enjoy as well. I'm gonna do some editing in the sense of maybe I'm gonna cut out some elements here and there to see how this comes along. But basically the idea is that I want to turn this old running man into sort of a robot, and I want to see, like, because I don't want to copy the body completely, but I think it's a very cool pose that he has going on here. So I want to see if I can take some of that. So I thought I'm gonna do sort of like a hip heavy sort of mech. So which means that I have to figure out everything else, how thin or thick I want everything else to be. And in this case, I feel like I want to cut away from these legs. So usually I start off very traditional, just blocks, and then I try to see. I look at some reference, compare some things, and try to see, okay, what would work and what wouldn't. I'm always trying to think of something that is a little bit offbeat, looks weird maybe, and then just combine it together. I'm just a fan of absurdism in general. So while I do enjoy doing things realistically, I also very much enjoy just being silly. I was like, if I bring in pistons, that will look a bit too clunky, and I don't really want to use like mechanical muscles for this one, because that's just too reasonable. Like if you have a robot that is running like a human being, you want to immediately bring in the mechanical muscles, and I want to avoid that. I think the head of the man is very funny, how it's dipping down a little bit. So I would like to capture that somehow if I manage. The thing is, I also have to look away from the, what's it called, the reference, because I do tend to copy it, and then because I like the drawing what I see, so I like drawing the muscles. It's very cool how the old man's muscles are forming and moving. So I want to make sure to not copy it fully. What I like to do early on is just start drawing over it, changing things. I think I'm gonna, whatever I end up drawing here, I'm gonna leave it in a somewhat rough, sketchy form. Maybe some basic colors just to give it a taste, but I think I will try not to do too much because I'm very precious with my lines, which I'm not happy about, but that is just how I am. So I find it difficult to change up how I approach these things, but I'm gonna see if I can do it a little bit rougher this time around and not worry too much about that line weight. I think my problem here is also that if I go back to this drawing, this upper leg in the drawing was much more foreshortened than what I did here. And because I'm still trying to figure out what exactly I am doing here or I want to do, I am free to change everything up as much as I want. So, which means also I have to change the leg position here. I didn't even keep that in count, but yeah. Okay, it's very bright in here. There's some ASMR for you guys. I just closed one of the blinds, hoping that it will help a bit. The really great thing about the attic is that it's super bright all the time. So if you want to do some traditional drawing, it's fantastic for that. And the really bad thing about the attic is that it's super bright all the time. So if you want to do digital drawings, it's really bad for that. I thought the spikes from the running shoe could be a fun little detail to add. And then it would also be nice to have sort of the bending options of a proper shoe. I said I didn't want to do pistons, but I feel like I might end up with a little bit of pistonage after all. Okay, I'm gonna have to draw a couple of lines just to... these are the ones that were messing a little bit with me. There we go. There, that fixes it. So those lines were messing up my perspective quite a bit. Okay, so I was thinking I could go for a mix of like cables and pistons for the inner tie, I think it's called. So let's see how that looks, and if I like it, we'll stick with it. And drawing in blank black areas is just a friend of artists who don't know what they're doing. So I guess that's what I'm doing there. Okay, so I wanna try something. Let's draw over this. Like I thought, what happens if instead of arms, I just draw sort of like stabilizer wings, something like that. Not quite wings, but you know, as cheetahs use their tail to help them. I thought it would be interesting if our friend here would have something like that as well. Let's not detail. So that's another thing that I keep off. Have to repeat to myself. Let's not detail. Okay, so what if we do sort of like a big Death Stranding sort of package conglomeration on his back. So this is how I work. I just start putting down shapes and then halfway through, oh wait, that actually works if I do so. So I had this front cube here that I drew there because I thought it looked interesting and it made it look a bit peculiar. But I think it's actually a good idea to use it as a front balance for the packages that are being carried on the back of the robot. And we are back from a baby break. I'm a little bit not a fan of this. I worked a lot with these giant industrial. What would you call this? Like tying down? It has a name. It doesn't come to mind right now. But I worked with them, and they have sort of a belts. There you go. Wow, belts, such a hard word. They have sort of a ratchet system, the ratchet buckle system, that I don't remember now, but I'm too lazy to look it up. So this is one of those moments that do what I say, not what I do, and usually and look this up. This is good reference to look up. So I decided that these wings, or arm wings, whatever you want to call them, would need an extra stabilizer here. And one of the decision is also just because this brings it a little bit closer to like a human hand, or like it gives an extra articulation, which makes it a bit wobblier, which is cool. I like that. But also just I can easily explain it with, yeah, it needs extra stabilization, and then flippy flapping these flaps, since I call it that, could give that extra stabilization. And since our guy in the reference picture is looking downwards, I want to make sure that our robot is going to be looking downwards as well. We had a couple of cables before as well. I can, like this data cables that you have in computers, we can slot a couple in there, and then the rest we can sort of hint at something or just fill it in with a nice dark line. As you can see, that's what we started with. We're here now. I like it. I like it. Needs a bit more detail for sure, so I think we're gonna go on that. A little bit of cross-hatching, dirting, weathering, stuff like that. Once again, I think I like the roughness of the lines. This is usually my sketching brush that you can find. You should be able to find it in the description of this video. I usually put the link to this brush there. It is from it's a Mellon. He worked on stuff like Archer. I think he was a storyboard artist on Archer, or is. Not sure if Archer is still running or not. But yeah, I really liked. I once saw him working with this, and he shared it freely. And at one point, you couldn't find his brushes anymore, and I asked him if it's fine if I share them just on my drive, and he was like, yeah, no problem. So since then I just keep on hosting them on my drive, just because I think everybody should get a chance of trying these out if they like them, of course. And now back to strengthening some of these lines. I mean, what I could do, let me just bring in another layer, and let me see, because I have another brush here that is a bit darker. It might change the feeling of it a bit, so I want to see if it still comes over. Because what I do like these sketchy brushes. The only thing is they become too soft if you keep on layering them, and I do want to layer them a bit more in this case, because I want to convey like overlapping and outline. These are the parts that are important to go over with. Okay, since I think this looks better, I'm gonna use this brush and add some of the wear and tear as well, but also just some of the detailing that needs to be added. Like I said in one of my previous videos, this is really where I feel like the drawing comes alive, when you are adding these little bits and pieces, because in like, at least in my head, I'm also doing a bit of storytelling, right? I'm like, oh, okay, there was a bump here, a bullet hit there, or whatever, maybe a stray stone hit there. And then another thing that you can do is also just add a couple of
debris, right? It's kicking up debris, so that will, I feel like that always adds a bit of dynamism to the whole drawing. And then a bit more shading, cross-hatching. For example, this is probably a bit in shadow, so we can do sort of a cross-hatch fade out. Same here a bit. You can add some more detail. This is really just, the rest is just you playing with whatever is there. And then the livery trucks are usually yellow, so I thought, just to finish it off, we can pick ourselves a nice yellow and just fill this nicely in. Now the thing with colors and these brushes is that they're very nice and sketchy, so sometimes the whole coloring doesn't work as well with them. But it's really, especially if you just want to use one color or just a couple of shades of that color, it's worth the extra effort of just trying to see, okay, what would it look like, or how much do I have to work on it to just add a hint of color. Okay, bit there. That's, I feel like I like the warmth of this, so all I'm gonna do is just lighten it a bit. As I said, not sure it works. I will duplicate it though. No, I think I'll leave it maybe without color. What I tend to do as well, let's just delete this, and I'm just gonna try something like this, and then fill this with yellow. Okay, and then go back to my selection tool, reverse it, and now erase these parts. And then we have sort of like a delivery arrow, and I'll just paint with white over the areas where I don't want there to be. So basically behind the robot. And this is a cheap trick that I like using, adding some color yet not having to worry about does it work or not with what I drew there. So I think we might stick with that solution in the end. Yeah, I decided to stick with this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little ASMR, me talking and drawing sort of video. There'll probably be more of these. And if you have any requests for these things, just yeah, feel free to drop a comment, and I'll try my best to see if I can fit something in. But yeah, with that we are at the end of this video, and if you are interested in seeing the whole video without the edits, although there won't be extra talking in it, I recommend you take a look at my Patreon, where I have uploaded the whole video. But yeah, with that we are done with this video. Thank you very much for joining, and as always, have a good time and keep on sketching. Bye bye.